Every time we see the maple leaf, let's remember the values that it stands for: compassion, hope, and responsibility, justice, openness, and hard work. Let's remember that while we're 38 million people living in 6 time zones from coast to coast to coast, we only have one country to share, protect, and cherish.
So if they cannot be vaccinated because of a medical condition,
Yes.
that makes it impossible for them to be. Otherwise, they would probably die.
Yes.
What do you think? Do you think they should have the same privileges as vaccinated people?
As long as they're not putting public health at risk.
And unfortunately, there's going to have to be sacrifices made. That's just the way it works.
They have to suffer the consequence. They're responsible for their own choices.
William Diaz here with Rebel News, and today Justin Trudeau is set to speak at a Liberal event here at Liberton Park in Ottawa, Canada, to celebrate Canada Day. Pablo Rodriguez is set to be here, Justin Trudeau is set to give a speech, and there are multiple people that are going to be here as well. So let's go see how that goes.
Hello everyone, happy Canada Day! Bonne fête du Canada! Canada is about people who are constantly fighting for something instead of against. When Terry Fox ran to help find a cure for cancer, he was fighting to better other people's lives.
So now Justin Trudeau just finished giving his motivational, inspirational, deeply founded speech. Let's go see what people think of him, and let's go see what people think of unvaccinated citizens being equal to vaccinated citizens.
Yes,
Sure, perfect. What did you think of Justin Trudeau's speech that he gave? Did you hear it?
it was wonderful. Yes,
It was wonderful, great.
Very appropriate. Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I think this is one of the best Canada Day celebration in many, many years.
Oh, that's interesting to hear. So, in his speech, he said that all Canadians, are equal, should be respected.
Yes.
Do you think that unvaccinated citizens should have the same rights or privileges as unvaccinated citizens?
Well, I do believe in vaccination. I think it's for the. Of course, there will always be some exceptions, especially for medical reasons. But
do you think that But do you think that unvaccinated citizens should have the same privileges and rights as vaccinated?
I think they do have the same privileges. They have the option to get vaccinated or not. They do have options.
So, some people, however, can't get vaccinated, and then 2 weeks ago couldn't board a plane. Or do you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree with that.
All right, great.
If they just want to travel for pleasure, but if they need to travel to visit, say, an ill family member, then there should be an exception.
As long as they're not putting public health at risk.
Okay, well, they do. The thing is, though, people who are not vaccinated have made a choice not to be vaccinated, so they have to put up with the consequences of that choice.
But some of them medically can't be vaccinated. Do you think it is
That's
fair that
fine,
cannot
that's
board a
fine,
plane?
And that's fine.
Like it couldn't 2 weeks ago.
The thing is, you're talking about general public health, okay? It's not an individual. When it's a pandemic, you're talking about a mass group of people. And and unfortunately, there's going to have to be sacrifices made. That's just the way it works.
Canadians know the national anthem. They stand in silence to remember those who died for this country. But not every Canadian knows their rights and freedoms. The Freedom Passport will change that. It looks and feels like a Canadian passport, but contains the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms in a portable, easy-to-read format. The Freedom Passport. Order one for yourself and for all the freedom lovers that you love at freedompassport.ca.
I think, because it was still quite unsure, the vaccination and COVID, the whole situation was still, the government didn't really know what's going on. So I think that was fair because it was just to protect everyone, right? The vaccination is to protect everyone.
So even though they had less chances of other people, and you just said that you want everyone to have the same chances, you think it was okay for the government to do that?
I think the government is providing free vaccinations, right? So everyone does have the...
But some people are unable to get vaccinated because of medical conditions.
Oh, then I don't think that's fair. I think obviously there should be exemptions. But if it's a like personal choice, then it is fair.
Oh, that's a hard one. Everyone's allowed choice.
Everyone thinks that it's a hard one at that point.
Freedom of choice, but it's also we have to protect each other, come together and be strong and trust in the authorities. But at the same time, I do support freedom of choice, but also be careful of one another.
So you just
It's all about respect for each other.
so you just said that all Canadians should be equal,
Yes.
but maybe unvaccinated citizens should be a little bit less equal than vaccinated citizens.
Well, I don't. That's a tricky one. I mean, we're all equal, but we do have freedom of choice, and that's the beauty.
What if
of
someone
Canada.
can't be vaccinated because of a medical condition?
Yes.
What if someone cannot be vaccinated because of a medical condition?
That's their choice. I mean, they have those.
It's not their
rights.
choice. It's a medical condition.
No, but if they refuse it, that's their choice. Is that what you're asking me?
No, if they cannot be vaccinated because of a medical condition,
Yes.
that makes it impossible for them to be.
Yes.
Otherwise, they would probably die.
Yes.
What do you think? Do you think they should have the same privileges as vaccinated people?
Well, if they're making the choice not to get it for whatever religious, cultural, personal decision, then they have to suffer the consequence. They're responsible for their own choices.
Quick question: how did you like the Canada Day experience so far?
You can read it here.
What?
You can read it here. This is my opinion.
Thank you.
I believe regardless of your opinions, you should be nice to people around you and believe in everyone else's opinion. Thank
That's
you.
not what I asked. Were you there when Justin Trudeau gave his speech?
Yes, I was.
Did you like what he said? Did you agree that Canada is an inclusive country?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Being able to be who you are, to love whom you love, to chase your dreams, to live without fear, this is the freedom the maple leaf represents.
So what are your thoughts on the guest response? What are your thoughts on the inconsistency within the people that we interviewed right here that say that yes, Canada should be more inclusive, yes, Canada should be equal for everyone, but however, unvaccinated citizens maybe should not be as equal as others, just like Orwell wrote in Animal Farm. Some animals are more equal than others, I believe. I guess that's what they were sending as a message. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of that. This was William Diaz here for Rebel News. So to make sure to stay updated with everything that happens here on Canada Day and in the Canada Day weekend, myself and Devin Menzies were sent by Rebel News in Ottawa. We'll make sure to film all the action that occurs. In order to stay updated, please head on to ottawareports.com and look at all our footage there.